Today we have a short presentation on our 2018 goals and objectives. If you haven't seen the goals and objectives yet, they're similar to what we've done in past years. We put those together with the staff at the end of 2017 and got them out in the mill a little bit in January and February before we started the major outage on R9. The good news is we're going to cover those in more detail today. And the goals and objectives overall don't change a lot year to year, regardless of who the mill manager is or whose name is on the front of the plant. The things that are important to the mill today likely were the same that were important last year and the same things that will be important 10 years from now. I like to keep it simple and put the goals into three major buckets. First of all, we lead with our values. We want to work safe and we want to protect the environment that we all live and work in. After we do that, we want to maximize the output of the plant. We want to make as many high-quality tons for our customers as possible. And that's even more important today in the strong market that we're operating in. Thirdly, we want to produce those tons as efficiently as possible. And we speak to that through cost metrics. We want to maximize the earnings of the facility, and we want to minimize the manufacturing cost of each ton of paper that we produce. Now, to do all this, that takes people, and that's us, people inside the gate, working together. To be successful, we all need to be engaged, we need to be organized, and we need to be working together to deliver the results of the plant. After I've spoken, we're going to visit with some of our work colleagues to talk about the details of each of those groups of goals. I'll come back at the end, summarize what we learned, and then also give you a mechanism to provide some feedback to the video.
There's a few things that we're working on this year. If you look at our goals for 2018, there's three main things that we're working on. First and foremost is our focus on reducing SIF potential, specifically high SIF potential. And when we talk about SIF, we mean serious injuries and fatalities. We're also working on improving our life-critical safety policies and procedures. And then as a result of that, we expect our incident rate, or TCIR, to be one of the best in the business. So we've set a goal of 1.1, which represents the top 25% of all mills in the country. So specific policies we'll be working on relating to life-critical or SIF potential would be, we've worked on in the past 2017 on our lockout-tagout policy. We worked on our process break policy. This year, at the beginning of the year, prior to the R9 outage, we revised and updated and implemented our hot work policy revisions. And then as we move forward into 2018, we'll also be working on our confined space entry policy. We'll continue to thoroughly investigate high SIF potential incidents, everything from a near miss to a first aid to a recordable. We'll be determining the root causes that are associated with that, and also the corrective actions that are necessary to prevent the incident from reoccurring. Also as a part of that, we'll be looking at making sure that we assign the appropriate personnel to complete the corrective actions, that we complete the corrective actions in a timely manner, and as a result of that, look to reduce that potential in the future.
One of the ways that we can reduce high SIF potential injuries in the mill is refinement of our policies and procedures. As the mill moves forward, safety is becoming a larger part of everyone's job, and this is what's going to make everyone safer.
Kapstone is committed to complying with all of its environmental permits and licenses. This is key in that we want to be a responsible corporate citizen. We are counting on you to report any issues that you may see. Even if you may think it's very minimal, it's still important that we begin to track that and follow up on all issues.
R9 is one of our recovery boilers. Its primary purpose is to burn black liquor fuel to help supply the steam that is used in our processes with the mill. The R9 rebuild was an extensive capital project for our facility and for the corporation. The project itself is the largest capital project funded by the corporation in 2018. We successfully executed the shutdown, rebuild, and startup of the unit without a single recordable injury.
We have a big focus on work systems this year, starting with planning and scheduling, but also touching precision maintenance and our predictive maintenance programs. Planning and scheduling, what we call that MWS, is really a key to making everything more efficient in the mill. And that describes a process where our maintenance and operating personnel come together to make sure that we're identifying the right work that needs to be performed in the mill, and that we're scheduling it at the right time, and that we make sure that we have both the operating area process side coordinated with the maintenance work that needs to be performed. Precision maintenance really speaks to the fact of doing things once and doing them right, so that we don't continue to work on the same things over and over again. So that's making sure that we have the right tools, the right training, and the right techniques to execute the work effectively with a good precision rebuild.
When I think about WMS, includes your computer system and your people, and trying to put all those together.
When we get good at planning and scheduling, we build strong teams between operations and maintenance, and we get much more efficient with all of the work that needs to be done in the plant. It is really the key to being more successful with reliability. After that, we want to continue to get better at predictive and preventive maintenance, and that just means that we're finding defects before they turn into failures, and we're getting those repaired before they cause us unscheduled downtime.
So one of the key goals for IQS this year is uptime, and we are targeting 94.6% uptime for all 11 machines in the company. The reason uptime is so important is one of the most important things in the service aspect of innovation, quality, and service is getting the product on time to our customers. For us, having the machines running efficiently, adhering to run sequences, and delivering for our customers is a key component to innovation, quality, and service. So the second component or goal for Charleston for innovation, quality, and service is improving acceptance by 1% over 2017 average. We need to make paper right the first time. If you have to make it right the second time, you have more losses, and once again, you're delaying shipments and things along those lines. So we currently have several initiatives to improve the uptime and acceptance on our paper machines. There was a mill-wide, which will be talked about in this as well, about improving reliability in the mill. And that's a direct availability / uptime improvement. And it's reliability of equipment reliability as well as process reliability. Process reliability, some people think it is operations and maintenance, but no, it's process and equipment reliability, because we're all in this together. And so we have many initiatives to move that forward and make the mill more reliable. And those are the biggest efforts on the uptime side. On the acceptance side, we actually have several greenbelt projects underway to improve acceptance as well, which are going to require a lot of crew involvement, a lot of maintenance involvement, and different people involved in order to improve our acceptance. With regards to innovation and quality and service and how this ties into these different performance metrics, as I discussed around uptime and acceptance, and yes, all other means of performance, if we can be a reliable, productive mill, we will meet the service requirements of our customers, will provide the quality product, especially in an oversold environment in which we're in right now, where we have large backlogs, and any time we have on the machine, we can fill with a good order.
Year to date, we've been able to welcome approximately 22 new employees into the mill. We've also just extended 16 offers to new entry-level laborers to fill the labor pool. Employee engagement is a critical component of success here at the mill, and there are absolutely plans to help to encourage employees to become engaged in their jobs and in supporting the mill throughout the year. As you may recall, back in September of last year, Kapstone administered an employee engagement survey. And we had a couple of learnings from that survey, which we're in the process of communicating to employees, but some high-level learnings are we have some strengths that we should recognize and acknowledge. And those strengths are coworker engagement. So coworkers working with one another is one of our major strengths at the mill. Another strength that was identified is the engagement of our frontline leaders with employees. And again, this is a strength that we need to continue to build on through the year. Some examples of areas for improvement included communications, particularly from our upper leaders. And the second area for improvement is around job engagement and career engagement, both of which you'll see are outlined in this video as goals for 2018. We have roughly 700 plus employees working here at the mill, and it's important that the company invest in the training, the development, and the grooming of all 700 plus employees in order for us to remain competitive in the industry and to also have job satisfaction. The focus here at the mill this year, in addition to the things that I just mentioned, are on operations training and also on leadership development, leadership training in 2018. So for example, with operations training, within the paper machine organization, Scott Cundiff and his team are really leading a benchmark approach in the development of our paper makers. And this is a great example of how hourly employees can work together with management and our union leadership to take skills and knowledge that they have and transfer them to new employees who are really going to be our future generation paper makers.
EBITDA stands for earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. EBITDA is calculated by looking at our sales of our paper, less any freight associated with those sales of paper. We also deduct our direct materials. Direct materials are basically the materials that go into making the paper.
Mill personnel can help with meeting or exceeding our EBITDA target in a number of ways. In addition to doing all we can to safely maximize our paper production and ship as many good tons out the door to our customers, we can help our EBITDA by keeping our costs down. That means managing our fixed costs and reducing our variable costs. The best thing we can do in the mill to help keep our costs down is to maintain good process and equipment reliability, which means minimizing unnecessary upsets and downtime. It's our operators and process owners paying attention to details of day-to-day operations that accomplishes this to keep their process stable and reliable.
I hope this has been a good review of the things that are important for Charleston Mill to be successful in 2018. To recap, we need everybody engaged, working together, leading with our values in safety and environmental protection, helping to maximize the productivity of the mill, exceeding our targets, delivering the tons that we need to our customers, especially in the market we're operating in today. And we want to do that at the most efficient cost possible. Every day that we come into the mill, we have an opportunity to make the place better. If you have questions about what we've talked about so far today, talk to your department leaders. They're out in the mill all the time. Catch me when I'm making a round in your areas, or feel free to send an email to Kinsey Banks with either feedback or questions on the contact information provided. I'll work with Kinsey to make sure we get you a good response. Thanks for your participation and continued support in 2018. We're looking forward to a great year.